Good morning and welcome to Worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. Our theme for worship in February is beloved community. And today, on Valentine's Day, we are focusing on the love part of that. Yet not just, in fact, mostly not romantic love this Sunday. We'll be embracing the many faces of love, the kinds of love that ultimately help us create a beloved community. We gather as a community that loves well and works to carry that love beyond our hearts, beyond our community, beyond our walls, and into the world. I am the Reverend Dana Worsnop, and I am honored and delighted to serve this incredible congregation. There are a whole host of folks who collaborate to bring our services into being. And we usually have at least a couple of tech support humans to help with Zoom glitches that do still happen. They'll add text support to their screen names to help you find them via chat. A couple of announcements that I would like to highlight is one, there is an anti-racism training that is coming up in April. It's going to be shared by the 6 congregations in our cluster. It's called Witnessing Whiteness, and it's going to be very powerful from all I hear, and there is space limited. And also coming up a little sooner than that, on February 22nd, Rigoberto Vargas will be speaking to us, coming on a Zoom meeting about COVID and vaccinations and the system for all of that. So I also invite you to look for more information about those things in the various places that we give announcements. There is UUCV This Week. There is our Facebook group. There's our website. And also, if you can manage to get yourself here a little ahead of time, we run a stream of announcements, and you get to listen to the amazing, lovely music on the piano played by our lovely and talented music director, Carolyn Bierke. So I invite you to come early, be serenaded, and learn a little bit about what's going on. So let us take just some moments to breathe together, to arrive here, to open our hearts to the many sides and splendors of love as we enter sacred space.
Good morning. I'm Worship Associate Andy Edgar Beltran, and we hope that everyone here has a chalice to light and something to light it with. Please join us now and let's light our chalices together. We begin our service this morning with these words from Reverend Sharon Wiley. It is okay to be tired of change. It is okay to be tired of everything different. Okay to feel weary of resiliency and wholeness and learning and growth. And okay to yearn simply for rest. It's okay to be grouchy and unsatisfied. And all the ordinary human ways of being that we are. Let this morning be a reminder that you are loved. Let our time together soothe what is restless in you. May you be comforted in knowing that whatever you are feeling today and other days, you are not alone. You are never alone. You are loved. Come, let us worship together.
Morning, I'm Carolyn Bierke, music director, and I'd like to invite you to join me in singing our opening hymn, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire. Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess and striving so my love profess, but not be gained my love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control. Our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are freed.
Some of the most beautiful writing about love comes from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians in Christian scripture. It is so beautiful that it's often read at weddings. It's the one about love being patient and kind without envy or arrogance. And the reading begins, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or clanging cymbal. And it was years before I made the connection that the hymn we just sang was based on that reading. Tongues of angels become, though I may speak with bravest fire. And the cymbals then are the sounding brass. Yet Paul was not writing about romantic love, though it easily translates there as well. He was talking about agape, the grandest human love for all people and the world, the love that the world needs now and always. The powerful love that we speak of that can change the world, the deep love that tells us that each and every one of us is worthy and whole. Now, it is likely not to surprise many of you to know that I am a bit of a humbug about Valentine's Day too. Indeed, I think there are very, very few of any of our commercialized and secularized holidays that I really like at all. So, bah humbug, and blessedly, there are many others who have a different view of this holiday and all holidays, thank goodness. Our own Cassie Tondro writes a blog about her artwork and her reflections on life. In a recent post, she wrote, Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday of the year, not just because it's the day before my birthday, but also because the emphasis is on love. Who doesn't want to see more love in the world? I'm not talking about the chocolate and roses type of romantic love, she goes on. I'm referring to love for ourselves and each other, love for the planet and all her beings, love for the universe and divine order, love of peace, beauty, freedom, and happiness for all. Whew, that big, open-hearted love. So on this Valentine's Day, we'll be talking about that big, open-hearted, life-filling love that bubbles over into both joyous love and compassionate love. A love that can do so much. A splendid love with so many faces. And since music and poetry are the best languages of love, our service will have a lot of both, looking at the many sides and splendors of love. The love between friends, for instance. Some are lucky enough to have a BFF, best friend forever. The love of parents and grandparents for children, the ways children love us back. The kind of love that Paul wrote about in that ancient letter, Cassie expressed on a 21st century blog, is the same love that inspired Dr. King. Not eros or romantic love, but the agape of love for all beings, the love that creates community. For King, it was the love of God working in our lives, and he knew it might also just save the world. Here are his words.
Our first reading this morning is by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from a 1957 speech. Our ultimate end must be reconciliation. The end must be redemption. The end must be the creation of the beloved community. We have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. The type of love that I stress here is not eros, a sort of aesthetic or romantic love, not philia, a sort of reciprocal love between personal friends, but it is agape, which is understanding goodwill for all people. It is an overflowing love which seeks nothing in return. It does not begin by discriminating between worthy and unworthy people. It begins by loving others for their sakes and makes no distinction between a friend and enemy. It is directed towards both. It is this type of spirit and this type of love that can transform opposers into friends. It is love seeking to preserve and create community. It is the love of God working in the lives of everyone. This is the love that may well be the salvation of our civilization.
Hi, my name is Zachary. This is my brother Seth on the piano, and this is my brother Mark on the guitar. And we are the Millersby Brothers. This one is for you. I'll be there. Enjoy. Must make a plan. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there. I'll reach out my hand to you. I'll have faith in all you do. Just call my name protect you.
Yeah, baby.
With an unselfish love, I respect you. Just call my name and I'll be there.
I'll be there. No, I'll be there to comfort you. I'll be my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad that I found you. I'll be there with the love that's strong. I'll be your strength. I'll keep holding on. Yes, I will.
Holding on. If you should ever find someone new, I know it better be good to you. 'Cause if he doesn't, I'll be there. And you should know, baby, I'll be there. I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Just look over your shoulders, honey. Ooh, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name and
I'll be there.
I'll be there. 'Cause ooh, 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 I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name and
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Thank you.
Wow, that was incredible. Anyway, hey, my name's Mark Fargo, and Reverend D asked me to read this story about the many ways people show their love. It's about a little robot named Z who went looking for the meaning of love. Our story is Love, Z, by Jesse Sima. On a bright, chilly day, Z went out looking for adventure and stumbled upon a piece of half-buried treasure. Inside was a message, too smudgy to read, except for two words at the very bottom: Love, Beatrice. The young robot did not know what love meant or who Beatrice was, but they felt important. So Z tucked the treasure away and headed towards home. As night fell, all the robots prepared to power down and recharge for the next day. Z asked for a bedtime story and a nightlight and a goodnight kiss. Tucked snugly in bed, Z's thoughts drifted back to the important treasure. What is love? Asked the young robot. Does not compute, replied the old rusty robots. Then they said, sweet dreams, and turned out the lights. Alone in the dark, Z could not sleep. The other robots had always been able to answer Z's questions. If they did not know what love meant, who would? Maybe there was one person. In the morning, Z went out looking for Beatrice. Hello, I'm looking for Beatrice, explained Z. I want to know what love is, and she will have the answer. That sounds important, said the captain. Climb aboard and we'll go on a quest. So they did. Unsure how to start a quest, Z asked around, excuse me, are you Beatrice? Are you Beatrice? Hello, are you Beatrice? No, said the voice. What's a Beatrice? We're on a quest to find out what love is, explained Z. And Beatrice will have the answer. I don't know any, Beatrice, said the crow. But to me, love is sharing your food when it's delicious. That did not compute. But Z thanked the crow anyway and changed course towards a place with delicious food. The baker did not know who Beatrice was either, but she was happy to share what love meant to her. Love is when someone is patient and takes time to teach new things. That did not compute. But Z thanked the baker anyway and changed course towards a place with teachers. The kids at recess had a lot of thoughts about what love meant. Love is butterflies. Love is sweaters. Love is lawn gnomes. Love is a million puppies. Love is snowflakes on my tongue. Absolutely none of them computed, but Z thanked the students anyway and had no idea what to do and go search. What if they never found Beatrice? What if love was something a robot could not compute? Z was about to suggest they change course to home when they stumbled upon a good place to spend the night. Hello, we are on a quest. Oh, never mind. Hello, I'm Beatrice, said the woman. Z could not believe their luck. What were you doing out there in the cold? Asked Beatrice. Looking for you, explained Z. I want to know what love is, and I thought you would have the answer. Beatrice paused to think. She thought and thought and thought some more. Love is difficult to explain. It's warm and cozy and safe. You'll know it when you feel it. Z hoped she was right. It's getting late, said Beatrice. Let's get some rest. The young robot was preparing to power down and recharge for the next day when the old rusty robots arrived unannounced. Z, you were gone. We were worried. But we found you. We brought your favorite bedtime story and your nightlight and a goodnight kiss. Tucked snugly in bed, Z felt warm and cozy and safe. It was a feeling that the young robot had felt many times before. Love, Z. And just to add a little note here to the end of this, you may never know when you might find love, but when you do, embrace it. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Mark. Gotta love Z. So we have occasionally had a practice of inviting people to reflect on their life at church, to give the testimonial about what the church means to them and how in their lives. And we're going to try very hard to revive that and keep it going. And so today, our first testimonial will be from Veronica Bear.
I love the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. It is my spiritual home, my creative home, and my personal growth place. I started attending services here after I moved to Ventura County in 2011. I found a group of people who are open-minded, supportive, caring, and welcoming. I've been involved in many activities, parties and dances, discussions, creative projects, and many more. In 2015, I started the Wednesday afternoon watercolor group. We met in Berg Hall every Wednesday until pandemic. Most of us have managed to maintain our relationships now on Zoom. I also spearheaded the group that transformed the green room into an art gallery for our congregation. And I belong to a women's group that I love. One of the things I love the very most about our church is Covenant Group. I became a co-facilitator several years ago and continue to be a co-facilitator every year. Let me tell you about Covenant Group. A small group of people meets twice a month, October through May. Nowadays on Zoom, of course. The group is led by 2 trained co-facilitators who also meet once a month with the steering committee. There are specific format and guidelines for conducting the meeting, which serve to create an atmosphere of safety, trust, and confidentiality. And the reason for all this is personal and spiritual growth and building community. I credit Covenant Group for helping me to know myself better, boosting my self-esteem, helping me to be a better listener and a better person. I have gotten to really know several really terrific people. And UUCV is my home where I am loved and supported, nurtured, inspired, and at peace.
Thank you, Veronica. Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our collection to an organization in the larger community or to funds that help people in our own church. We now invite you to donate online, and you will see on the following video and in the chat the link to make the donation. And today we hear from a church family about their love of a particular place on this earth.
Hi, we are the Mendelson family. I'm Krista.
I'm Mark.
I'm Danica. And I'm Garrick.
Here are some of the reasons we love Camp de Benneville Pines, our UU camp in the San Bernardino Mountains.
I learned how to finger knit there, and I like to share a cabin with family and friends.
I love that we don't have to cook meals while we're there. But more importantly, I love worshiping outside under the towering pine trees.
I think camp is an awesome place to play capture the flag.
And I love gathering around the campfire to roast s'mores and sing songs with our family and with friends we've just met and friends we've known for a long time. Thank you for giving generously, as you always do, to our beloved Camp de Benneville Pines.
The generosity of this
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb.
There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine.
All this and more, if you want to know.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing
to the love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
The generosity of this congregation is one of the threads that we weave into this tapestry of love we call community.
Each week, we lift up the joys and sorrows that have been shared with our community. There are two ways to submit a joy or sorrow: from a link on the UUCV website, uuventura.org, or a link in our Thursday email bulletin, UUCV This Week. When we are together in our physical sanctuary, we drop stones in water for each joy or sorrow. The ripples that go out remind us that we are all connected. Here in our online sanctuary we make together today, we see the image of ripples to help us keep that connection. I invite you now to speak aloud or in your heart the names of those you wish to celebrate or memorialize, or those who may need the loving embrace of this community. By invoking their names, even when we may not hear them, you bring them into this circle of caring that we call community. We hold these names, spoken and unspoken, in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Our second reading is in two voices: To Invoke Love by the Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. To invoke love is to ask for a hug from a thunderstorm. Spill tea in the lap of the infinite trickster to make the biggest, most embarrassing mistake of your life in front of everyone who matters. To invoke love is never to know if it will come softly with the nuzzle of a beloved dog, or pounce right on your chest with the strength of a lioness protecting her cub, her pride, her homeland.
To invoke love is to take the risk of inviting chaos to visit the spaces you spent so much time making tidy, and watch as the breath of life scatters everything you have only just folded and put away. To invoke love is to allow for the possibility that your words and actions might become so empowered you can no longer believe in apathy or the self-righteous idea that nothing can change.
To invoke love is to give up self-deprecation, false humility, pride, to consider yourself worthy to be made whole, willing to encounter love that will never let each other go. To invoke love is to guard against assumptions, take care with our words, and practice forgiveness, not as an ethereal ideal, but right here in the messy midst of our imperfect lives.
To invoke love is to approach each day and every person with wonder, anticipating love's arrival. Is this the moment? Is this love's grand entrance? Is this person the embodiment of love? Am I the one? To invoke love is to play the fool, the one more concerned with loving than with appearance or reputation, the one ready and willing to be vulnerable, abandoning anything that gets in love's way. To invoke love is to be ready to become love, here, now, in everything we do.
Love makes a bridge from heart to heart and hand to hand. Love finds a way when laws are blind and freedom bound. Love breaks the walls of language, gender, class, and age. Love gives us wings to slip the bars of every cage. Love lifts the hopes that force and fear have beaten down. Love breaks the chains and gives us strength to stand our ground. Love makes a bridge that winds may shake and not destroy. Love carries faith through life and death to endless joy.
Our final reading this morning is adapted from Mary Oliver's poem, The Sun. Have you ever seen anything in your life more wonderful than the way the sun, every evening, relaxed and easy, floats toward the horizon and into the clouds or the rumpled sea and is gone? And how it slides again out of the blackness every morning on the other side of the world like a red flower, streaming on its heavenly oils, say on a morning in early summer at its perfect imperial distance. And have you ever felt for anything such wild love? Do you think there is anywhere in any language a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed?
I can't wait to get you up in the morning when the sun is shining bright. It's gonna be another day with you. We're gonna run and play and seize the day. There ain't nothing like chasing your cares away with you. Oh, with you. If you're down, I'll help you turn around. Nobody knows how much I love you. Nobody knows how much I care. There's a big old world, let's get out there and live it. Walking next to you may seem to be just another little thing in the world you see, but the truth is it just means so much to me. Oh, I'm gonna wag my tail, gonna dig a bunch of holes. I don't know why, but I think it means I love you. If you're down, I'll help you turn around. Nobody knows how much I love you. Nobody knows how much I care. There's a big old world, let's get out there and live it. Nobody knows where the story goes, so don't worry all your life. I just wanna be your best friend and follow you until the end of time. out here having fun. Nobody knows how much I love you. Nobody knows how much I care. There's a big old world, let's get out there and live it. Nobody knows where the story goes, so don't worry all your life. I just wanna be your best friend and follow you until the end of time. When it's time to go to bed at night, I'd like to curl up by your side and dream of another day with you. So good night.
Love, puppy love, sisterly love, brotherly love. Love. Who doesn't want to see more of it in the world? Except that it can be like asking for a hug from a thunderstorm, knowing that it might arrive with the soft nuzzle of a dog. Is there a sweeter love in the world? I don't know that there is. Or it might pounce on your chest, which kitties tend to do sometimes. And it might simply invite a whole mess into your life. And is there anything more powerful and wonderful? For love does carry with it a power to change us and to change the world. I do want to give a shout out to Eros, to romantic love. For romance is still so sweet and powerful and generative and world-changing. Romantic comedies have always been my very favorite movies, from anything with Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant to Crazy Rich Asians. Yet our focus, dare I say, our obsession with romance can give the other aspects of love short shrift. We do hear so much about love that sometimes it can feel a little trite to talk about the great power of love. Yet, think of all that truly moves you, calls you out of affection, loyalty, caring, compassion. Think of the ideals that love can stir in you. The love of country, the love of this country for all its flaws, a love that is asking a lot and is being stretched lately, yet seems still to be holding. Think of what calls forth tenderness, protectiveness, vulnerability. There is too the love of place. For many in this congregation, there's a place high in the San Bernardino Mountains that needs protection, nurture, and care. There are many people who have found many forms of love at Camp de Benneville Pines. It was the first place some people fell in love, and it nurtures love of nature and of place. There is also the love that arises in community when people sit around a table, for instance, or perhaps a Zoom room, and paint and talk and share. Perhaps the grand love that Paul and Dr. King invoke, agape, is really simply grandly a combination of all the sides and splendors of love. Given the fierceness with which we can love, it is a force that indeed can still, maybe yet still save civilization. Love holds a power that can overwhelm the sense of hopeless apathy that can arise in our hearts. The apathy that says it's all just too big and too much and nothing can change. And yet remember, it is love that leads us to cry out for justice, justice for all. And for all the power of love, for all of its power and its might and its chaos and its challenge, let us not forget the sheer joy of love. Love has the remarkable power to make us simply happy and full of life. Love is warm and cozy and safe. Love may also be butterflies and lawn gnomes. There is a joy love is the kind of joy that makes life worth living, a joy that can carry us through the heartbreak and tragedy that life also brings plenty of. There are so many forces at work in the world against love, that work against love, forces that tell us that we are alone, that we need to protect all that we have because love itself is a scarce resource, that we somehow are not worthy of love, or that we will never find it, or that we'll only find it if we change that something, whatever it is for you, that makes you inherently flawed and unlovable. Yet, this faith tradition, which is both ancient and as fresh as each breath, this faith tradition teaches us that each and every person on earth is born whole and holy, and yes, loved. So that means you, in case you have any doubts. Love can be a bridge from the sense of flawed unworthiness to the place of knowing you are not alone and you are indeed worthy. That means you. And it means also the parents and children who were separated at our borders. And it means every stranger you meet anywhere. And it means the people you see only in pictures from across the world. So let us invoke all that love this day. Every kind of love you have ever known, and the kinds that you still imagine and yearn for. Let us gather all of that together and be ready. Be ready to become love. Here, now, in everything we do. Amen. And may it be so. So today, before I speak some final words of prayer, I invite us all into a time of silence. Close your eyes if you wish. Wrap a blanket around you, settle back into the cushions or pillows that you are sitting on, and breathe. Invoke love. Holy beingness, abundant faces of love, spirit of life which dwells within and among and beyond us this day and always. Let us open our hearts to wild, abundant, barely imagined, enlivening, flourishing love. Love of self and of all other humans, and birds chirping and dogs nuzzling and kittens mewing, and to all of this beautiful spinning earth. Let love be the center of all we do. May we remember that we love and are loved, that we are not alone, and that inward love may always guide us. Let that abundant, capacious, amazing love call us to justice, delight, tenderness, fierceness, and joy. And may all those who are ill find healing. May those who are in despair find hope. May those who are in conflict and war throughout the world know peace. May those who are without shelter find home. And may those who feel still somehow unworthy of love know that they are deeply loved and that we are with them. We are none of us alone. Amen, and blessed be.
Me in our closing hymn, Lean on Me. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Please join Reverend Dana in extinguishing your chalice at home. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light in our hearts, the warmth of community, or the assurance and goodness we have found here. Those we carry into our lives until we gather again.
In a moment, you will be placed into breakout rooms for a virtual coffee hour. And even if you're new to us, we invite you to join in and meet some new folks. And you can also at that point simply opt out of Zoom and go on about your Sunday. Also, just to let you know, it came to my notice that not some people jump right into their breakout rooms, and that Carolyn plays a very brief postlude afterward. And so sometimes some people stick around and listen to that and then jump in. So just be aware of that transition. I leave you this morning with these words from John Morgan. In the end, it won't matter how much we have, but how generously we have given. It won't matter how much we know, but rather how well we live. And it won't matter how much we believe, but how deeply we love. And so remember to be there for one another, to lean into each other for love and support. And remember, you are loved, you are worthy, you are never alone. Go forth in love, go forth in peace, go forth in good health, and particularly go forth in love. Happy Valentine's Day. May it be so.